Hi, I'm Caitlin, Senior Project Leader here at the Young People's Puppet Theatre. Today I'm going to tell you a bit about what we've learned running our project. We hope that you might be able to take some of the things that we've learned and apply it in your own classrooms. But first, a bit about who we are. The YPPT is an arts education charity founded in 2015 by Jeremy Duchenne, a third-generation puppeteer who knows firsthand how the arts, and puppetry in particular, can change lives. He grew up with puppets around the house and first ran puppetry projects for young people in the 1980s in his native Canada before bringing them to the UK in the 90s. As his daughter, I also grew up with puppets, and in 2015 we founded the YPPT together to bring the joy of puppetry and the resulting benefits to more children and young people. Since then, we've worked with around 1,300 young people on over 40 shows in Hertfordshire and the surrounding counties. So what exactly do we do? We make parents and teachers cry. I'm kidding, mostly. Though we do love seeing adults tearing up with pride at the end of a project. Our standard project involves 30 children or young people, often a school class and usually year 6, each of whom designs and makes their own marionette from scratch, works with classmates on set design and building, and then takes an individual role in rehearsals and performances of the group show for their local community. Although we do provide a script to work from, the children do absolutely everything else in the whole process, including all performance and technical roles in the show. That's everything from puppetry and voice acting, to lighting, sound, stage management and scene changes. The shows are immensely complicated, both to make and to perform, so why do we bother? Well, right from the start we could see that they were doing the children involved good. The children were gaining confidence, learning to work together, developing new skills, and were clearly very proud of their work. We thought there might be something quite special developing, so in 2018 we started working with a research team from the University of Hertfordshire. Funded by a grant from the Paul Hamlyn Foundation, the researchers tracked 6 classes of Year 6 children through their YPPT projects. The findings in their report were striking, and I'd like to share those with you now. The researchers used a mixture of questionnaires, interviews and observations, and gathered data from children, parents, teachers and project leaders to get a better understanding of the children's development from all angles. Their research led them to 3 particular conclusions. Firstly, the children on our projects develop a vast array of technical skills. They learn drawing, sculpture, cutting, sewing and personalising costumes, stringing and knot tying, design skills including scaling, painting and 3D modelling skills, correct use of tools and technical equipment, puppetry, scene changes, lighting design, performance skills including voice acting. This is a huge range of skills to be covered in a single project, especially given that we work with children as young as 9 in Year 5 classes. Secondly, and more importantly for us, the children developed key life skills. The research team saw development in team working, communication, organisation, creativity, resilience, engagement, motivation, concentration and confidence, and also noted that these skills prepared children well for the transfer to secondary school. Finally, the researchers noted that our projects bring new approaches to teaching and learning that are instrumental in helping the children develop the transferable skills I just mentioned. And it's this point that I want to talk about in more detail today. We want to have a look at why what we do works, and to help teachers think about how that you might be able to use some of what we've found in your own classrooms, even outside the context of a full YPPT project. So, the first unusual characteristic of the projects is how long they are. We work with each group on and off for a minimum of 6 months. More often, the project lasts an entire academic year, with puppet making starting in September and the performances happening in the summer term. For the children, accumulating skills over a longer time frame helps them build patience and sustained concentration as they work right through the process. And we make sure that each session has a goal of its own so that the week-by-week progress is tangible. In the case of our Year 6 classes, where the majority of our projects run, It also helps by giving the children an additional focus and something else to look forwards to once SATs are finished in May. Children often tell us that they like that their puppet will be used in the show. It appears to be more meaningful to them to create something that will be used, rather than simply creating a piece of artwork that will hang on the wall once finished. Very long-term projects with a concrete goal like this seem rare in schools, so we're delighted to have the research team comment on this as a plus for our work. The second characteristic of the projects identified by the researchers was the external input, which made the projects feel new and exciting for the children. Something as simple as needing to rearrange the classroom for set design sessions created a sense of something special happening that helped focus and engage the children. The children in the study also responded well to their YPPT project leader, who visited the school once per week to deliver the workshops. Having an external facilitator meant that the teacher was often learning with the students, which was a new experience for everyone. I'll let Sarah, a teacher who worked with us a few years ago, explain the effect on her Year 6 class.
I mean, they asked me so many times, oh, Miss Julie, can you help me? And a lot of the time I'm like, no. I was like, I can try and help you. I was like, give me a minute. But it's good that they can see that it's not natural to me to make a puppet and to do those stages, like sewing or, you know, putting it all together. I need support, and I need to listen to Caitlin to help me know what the next step is. And it's refreshing that the adults don't always have the answers, and actually I'm not the expert in this situation at all, so I can look towards the person who is more experienced and still ask for help. And them seeing an adult asking for help is a positive thing, because it continues on in life. Like, you're not going to know the answers to everything, and so if I can kind of show that a little bit as well, and with my teaching assistants and the team that we have, then that's brilliant. And I do feel like we are coming together closer as a class, because we're enjoying the project, but there's so much more informal conversations happening while you're doing it. It's a lovely opportunity for the children just to talk about, you know, what happened in the day, or oh, can you help me with this? And they are building friendships that are not just their friends, it's their classmates.
Obviously our projects teach art and design, but some teachers also use them to help deliver other areas of the curriculum, especially literacy and English.
We've used the Puppet project to help us with our extended writing in English at Central Primary. In fact, we've used it for our instructions module of writing, in which we've created a model text for our children about how to create the puppet costumes that they're going to wear, breaking it down step by step, including all the different grammatical features that it needs, as well as fitting to the text type of each different feature as well. After that, the children then, using the help of that model text, created their own piece of extended writing based on creating the actual puppet head, making it out of clay, and going through all the individual steps that they need to do that.
First of all, we looked at, the children had made their puppets by this point, and I wanted them to be really familiar with their puppet, and so we made up backstories for the puppets, which they really enjoyed, about where they lived, their family, who they were, and they got really involved in it, so it actually got them to know their puppet better and to know what part they played in the story. And then we didn't do the whole play, but we read up to a certain point, because what I wanted the children to do was to write an ending, their own ending for it. And actually, quite bizarrely, the endings, although we hadn't read it, quite a lot of the endings were very similar to the actual ending of the play.
We often have comments from children and parents about engagement levels in puppet classes compared to real lessons. Apart from the insinuation that they're not real lessons, it's really nice to see the researchers pick up on the children's increased and sustained engagement with the project, and with the wider curriculum as a result. Another key reason that our projects work is that they are so different. No child has ever done something like this before, so everyone is developing new skills at the same time. The playing field is levelled, as it were. Children who don't usually get a chance to be good at something find new skills that they didn't know they had. And from our perspective, there's nothing better than watching the child who always has to ask for help in maths suddenly realising they are the class expert in, say, tying reef knots. Suddenly there's a queue of people waiting next to that child's desk for help, and you can almost hear their confidence growing as they realise they have something to offer other people. They also then talk to children they wouldn't normally associate with, and develop new friendships cutting across existing friendship groups. Our projects have no barriers to participation. You don't have to be good at the core subjects to be good at puppets, and children with disabilities and disadvantages such as learning and communication difficulties, or English as an additional language, can not only take part, but even play leading roles. Because of the range of skills we teach, every child finds something they are good at. Although we realise that recreating this sense of newness will be difficult to apply in all classroom settings without external facilitation, this research really underlines how important it is for children's confidence and self-esteem that they are exposed to a wide range of experiences and allowed time to find things that they are good at. We know how damaging too narrow a focus on academic achievement can be, especially for children who find the core subjects more difficult. So it was heartening to read that the researchers felt that we are helping to address that. For us, though, the most important aspect of our project is that we set our expectations unusually high. This is true in several respects. Creatively, we aim for what we call achievably difficult. The projects are complex and definitely seem too difficult for primary school children in particular, but we make sure that they are achievable. By the end of the project, the children always produce performances that blow their parents away. The power of exceeding parents' and teachers' expectations cannot be underestimated in terms of its ability to boost children's confidence. I'm sure you can remember a time when you surprised someone by being unexpectedly good at something, or when a child surprised you. If not, come and do a project with us, and we'll create that moment for you. We also set high expectations in terms of giving the children responsibility. It is their show. They design, create, and run the whole thing themselves. This does include us handing them high-quality tools and equipment and expecting them not to break anything. And with very few exceptions, they rise to the occasion. We believe in telling the children when things are difficult. Rather than minimise the difficulty, we create an environment in which it's fine to find something hard, to make mistakes, to ask for help from friends and teachers, and to figure out a way through the problem. We believe in supporting them to get themselves out of any hole they've dug themselves into, rather than ripping the metaphorical shovel from their hands as soon as they start. We give them the independence to tackle challenges, to fail and to regroup while drawing on their classmates' skills and knowledge to help, and the resulting resilience, as well as their sense of achievement and pride, is much greater at the end. Sarah, who you heard from earlier, even changed her teaching style as a result. She used to explain everything over and over until she was sure that every child had understood every single word before allowing anyone to start an activity. But over the course of the puppet project, she gained faith in her children's ability not only to work things out just by doing them, but also to help each other through the difficult bits. So, those are our projects. Long, difficult, entirely child-led, and really disruptive in terms of friendship groups and classroom layout. We've believed in the power of this long-term, large-scale work for years, and it's been hugely gratifying to have the hunch that we were making a difference confirmed by independent research. We've also found it really interesting that even small things like temporarily rearranging a classroom or teaching a brand new skill, however small, can change class dynamics and motivation so dramatically. We hope that might be something that some of you try in your own classrooms. Let us know if it makes a difference. And where else can we go from here? From our point of view, we'd like to bring our projects and their magic into more schools in the next few years. So, if you're interested, do get in touch. We know how tightly school budgets are stretched at the moment, and we offer heavy subsidies where needed. So please don't let a lack of room in your budget put you off if you think we could benefit your children. Even if you're not up for a full project though, I hope our experience has got you thinking a bit. Lockdown has given us all a chance to think about what we do and why we do it and what we want to keep of the old systems as more children gradually return to full-time school. We believe that long-term involvement in large-scale arts projects has huge potential for building life skills and motivation in children and young people, and that these skills are just as important as their academic prowess. If you share that belief, be brave, disrupt your classroom, try something brand new, learn with them. You might be surprised at what they can achieve.